Hey y'all. I've been walking on this bottom home, trying hard times, R.I.P. baby, my phone died, but don't cry. Heaven gates was closed, I went to hell, it was a long line. Two hoes in the bed, it's hard to wake up on the wrong side. Few bumps in the road, a little bump and grind, I don't mind. Please no for your fucking piggyback, you could get hog tied. Two Ninas on me, you fuck with me, them girls gone wild. Tipsy talking, tipping, make my hoe sit through the whole trial. I've been walking on this fucking water for a long time. Molly water got me transforming like I'm Voltron. Smoking so much weed, I might just fuck around and hug a tree without a bird, cause I deserve every fucking leaf. 1, 2, 3, Chipotle G at the TOP, smoke a POT from DOG to a GOD, got OCD, not your CD. Hit it with the DOPD, that dope dick tip, your DDC, you get DIE for FEE, I DIE for my SET. I told my son that whatever the sun touches yours, my nigga. I told my daughter don't give up love to a polar nigga. I told my bitch she making a poor decision. I told that bitch she leaving the solar system, but hoes don't listen, and I'm on the road to riches and she can't ignore the ending. I bought myself a medallion that cost it a Zor, my nigga. I don't know, guess I was born to foreign hoes, I'm so your nigga. To the full. I started vibing a little with Lil Wayne. I be thinking I want to sing, and then I kind of be wanting to just hear him talk about it because, now what? I told my cousins who's for keeping my pose with my clothes, and there's no playing the cards I was dealt. And I could be broke, my nigga, but I'm watching Oprah, nigga. And my white hoes, none of my so forgiving is soulful, nigga. I'm a young mogul, nigga. I'm a young hover, nigga. My office is over, nigga. I step out that bitch, what's happening? Me and a little bitch I was napping with a rapper, I'm just call me the rapper, I'm chancing it. Ooh. Look, Kaepernick. Niggas don't know a star from an asterisk. Do it look like I'm playing Kaepernick? Shout out to everybody tuned in and rocking with me. This is Miss Mecca's Take live, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, y'all. Let me turn Wayne down a little bit because Wayne be doing something to me all on the freeway, okay? Shout out to him. Shout out to Lil Wayne headquarters, Lil Wayne HQ. Man, I certainly do appreciate, I don't know who got the footage, who took the video, but shout out to Lil Wayne, who was outside at he was at a golf tournament. So it was somebody's golf tournament. I'm going to go to Lil Wayne HQ right now. Big shout out to them because they are most definitely the TMZ for Lil Wayne, okay? They are the In These Streets. I don't even know if that page is managed in the United States of America. Seems like I read something about the person who is over that page that they or somewhere else in France or something. I don't know. But anyway, I do want to go back because he had all of the details about why Lil Wayne was outside. Lil Wayne was with some people that I did not even have time to figure out or find out who he was. We're going to see right now. Lil Wayne HQ. Y'all, this week has been something else. Okay, so Lil Wayne he was out there. I don't think Lil Wayne was with anybody, but Lil Wayne was spotted with Neo, Reggie Jackson, Jay Walt at the Mr. October Foundation annual golf tournament in Las Vegas on yesterday. So shout out to Lil Wayne, looking beautiful with the sun in his face, looking beautifully healthy. All of these people was out there. Y'all, 50 Cent was out there too, but he'd been on so much bullshit lately. I don't want to be mentioning him like he was hanging out with Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne and Lil Wayne fans, we are not on the bullshit, not even a little bit. Shout out to Lil Wayne. I think that was amazing that on Sunday, the first thing that I saw when I opened up my phone was that Lil Wayne had tweeted that he had went to a gospel concert at a school in California. Now, the people in the comments, if you don't know what's going on, sometimes you can look in the comments and see what's really going on. So big shouts out to him because I think that was just so amazing. Let me see something. What was it? It was on this past Sunday, and Wayne tweeted, "I just left the 25th anniversary celebration for the Campbell Hall Gospel Concert. Now, you know, Lil Wayne that typed my name on Sunday morning, y'all. I wasn't no good the rest of the day. Okay, it was amazingly glorious, he said in all caps. A true joy to behold. Mr. Stacy Dillon was simply perfect, and all love and respect to him for his time and passion. Band was electric. Kids were fire. Michelle, you killed it. So big shouts out to Lil Wayne for that post on Sunday morning. So many people came into the comments, and one person, and nobody debunked this, said, Campbell Hall, that fancy LA private school, how does a gospel concert blow up there? So anyway, I don't know all the details, but just to know that my name is on a fancy LA private school and Lil Wayne happened to be there on a Sunday just made my heart smile. So shout out to Lil Wayne, like I said. And it was some people that got in the comments, bless their hearts. I guess they got in the comments trying to talk about something that the Wayne fans were completely clueless about. But there were some people who got in the comments, and I guess they were Nicki Minaj fans, and they were saying, why don't you stand up for Nicki? Why don't you? I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Wayne is the motherfucking boss. He don't have to come and speak on anything. He's not that kind of person. He ain't never been. And that's the reason why we didn't respond to you, because we don't play that bullshit. We are serious music fans of the best rapper that the world has ever seen. And that's what we focusing on. Glad to see him tweet. Don't come over here with all that bullshit. Nobody else is really going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. And we not afraid of nothing that y'all come with, because we are far too intelligent. We all doing things in our life. We having money. We're not sitting at home in somebody else's house typing some bullshit. And it's really, really interesting, because as I read some of those things, it made me think about something that my mother said one time. And my mom said, people don't know how to come to you like as you. They come to you as them, because they're only able to see from their own outlook. So a lot of times people will do things to you that would be things that if it happened to them, it would hurt them. So even though my cousin, bless her heart, she had it all mixed up about me responding to somebody or me responding to some haters or reading some comments. First of all, a bitch ain't never showed up in my feed in disguise on no bullshit, okay? Never. And if you want to go put you a wig on, or a fake face or a no face, and think you going to come over there, all you need to know as you typing, bitch, is that you couldn't come as yourself. Because anything and anybody that know me from anywhere, I'm not on that type of time no more. But I will never forget, first of all, anybody that I have ever had an issue with, I've never taken and went around the mountain to try to sugarcoat. Respectfully, I won't, come out and say anything based on the fact that I feel like it might be something damaging to you. I am not, when my little sister was going to W.C. White, some girls was trying to jump her at the school. I think we cool with all them people now. My sister been out of school for about 20 years, I think. I'm not sure. But it's been a long time since my little sister was in high school, maybe more than 20 years. But when some girls was trying to jump my little sister in high school, I passed my baby to somebody when I was at the school. And the little girl at the high school was like, I fight grown people too. And I really passed my baby to somebody and went outside and told her, well, here is your chance. If you want to fight somebody grown, then you can fight somebody grown. And she kept walking and going the other direction. But for the most of the people, but those same group of people that was trying to jump my little sister, as God is my witness, and if they are lurking and looking, they will also be able to tell you that I pulled up to every single body's house and we knocked on their door and said, listen, ain't gonna be no fighting at the school no more. I'm gonna come over here and y'all can fight right now. So nobody wanted to get out in the yard and fight. And so I said, well, if you're not going to fight here, you're not finna keep on fucking with my little sister at school. And so that settled that. And in addition, last but certainly not least, I myself, unfortunately, and thank God I'm alive to tell the story. I'm not trying to do nothing like this today. That's not the type of time I'm on. It's just if anybody is real with themselves, that's the type of person I've been all my life. So I don't have no reason to try to get on the internet. If I put something on the internet, it came straight from my heart. It came straight from how I was feeling in the moment. And if you're not with me to know what I'm saying, then don't speak on what I'm saying, because you don't really know. If you want to know something, you can call me and ask me. But the last person who invited me to a fight got her ass whooped in her own living room. I walked to her house and she kept saying what she was going to do when we got to school. I'm like trying to get put out of school. And I went to her house. No, you know what? It was another broad who was on the phone after I was grown. And I never forget. My baby daddy called me from jail. He was like, why did you go over them people's house? Them people are dirty. I said, I don't like anybody telling me they going to catch me in the street. Because if I'm in the streets, I'm on my way somewhere. This is long before people started saying this. But what I was saying in that moment when I went over there is that I got time today. So I went over there and they was all in the back room talking shit. I don't like to fight. I don't think that I'm the baddest and that, I'm Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or no shit like that. But I am this type of person. If it's anything that I've ever thought or felt, I said it. I'm not proud of it. I think I got a bad reputation because of my delivery, but it's most definitely been the honest truth. Now, back to business, because we got a show to do. Are we about to go to war or what? Y'all, first of all, I hadn't poured my drink. I usually have poured my drink by the time that I start the show. But I went to Specs today, and I honestly went to Specs to go and get some liquor because I have been trying to make the strawberry drink for me in Montana ever since Valentine's. And it has been something that happened every single time. I still have all the ingredients at home, but I didn't have time. It's like Tuesday is my only off day. It's the off day that I give myself. And so I feel that with things that I want to do. Didn't get a chance to do everything that I wanted to do today because I still got to pick up. I got to pick up at Target, and I still got some groceries I need to get from my favorite grocery store, but it closes at 9, and I'll be leaving here at 9, so I will be getting back up in the morning to go do some of that. But this is what I've always wondered. Now, I went to Specs. I'm going in there to get some Crown Royal. You can do this drink with Crown Royal, Bullet Bourbon, maybe not Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is kind of sweet. It's a whiskey bourbon as well. It's really good in eggnog, but it's not necessarily the best option for this drink. I would say something a little bit lighter, like a Crown Royal or something like that, or a Bullet Bourbon. It's really, really good with my strawberry smash. I'm going to make it. I still got all the ingredients. But tonight, we're going to sip on this, and it's called Pinot Taget, okay? It is Andrew and Vito wine, Pinot Taget 2020, so it's 6 years aged. And I did learn something new. You never know how far, who was LL Cool J saying about a big butt and a smile, I think. Somebody did. I'm gonna come with a smile, and I'm really working on my butt. Like, I really have been putting in some work, and I'm really at a crazy size right now. Speaking of that, because I've learned in just shopping, I've decided that until I get to the weight that I want, I'm going to be just buying jeans at like TJ Maxx and Ross or wherever, somewhere that'll have something that you can, if you take your time, you can find something cute, but something that's here for a good time and not a long time. So with that being said, these pants I bought because I'm at a funny space and time in my life right now where I am too small for a 16, but I'm too big for a 14. Now, I think that this is going to be something that's going to be, because I can't wear a 15. 15 is like juniors, and for some reason, the 15 don't work. So it's got to be woman's. The more I live, I realize that that's for a reason. The woman's size and the junior size is that way for a reason. They just not trying to keep all the cute shit from you. It don't really, your body is not shaped right, and the shit that start popping out as you get a little bit older, it's not for those junior clothes. So don't go to the 15, just work yourself down to the 14 if you happen to be in the middle like me, or hey, go crazy and go on and fill up that 16. I'm not trying to do that. I got 2 pairs of 16 jeans, and them jeans are too damn big. Like, I don't like having to pull the jeans down, up. Yeah, they keep slipping down. I don't like having to keep pulling them up all day, but I also don't like this little muffin top because my stomach is really not big as it was looking when I put this t-shirt on, but the fact that the waistline on here is tight, then it's like pushing everything up to the top. I think that's where that came from, muffin top. But anyway, Pinochet. I like Pinot Noir, which is a nice medium bodied wine. So when you think about wines, Cabernet, which is awesome, like with steak and Italian dishes. I love having a house Cabernet at a real good Italian restaurant because usually they have selected a Cabernet that marries well with the way that they make their sauce. So don't think that just because you had lasagna at one restaurant and a Cabernet was good with it, that you can have the same one at another restaurant. Ask them at an Italian restaurant what their house wine is, because if it's a good restaurant, that means that they have gone through the trouble of making sure that they paired the wines properly, because that's how they enjoyed their meals in Italy, with fine wine. And fine does not always mean the most expensive. And so with that being said, I love a Pinot Noir because it's a nice blend of like something that's very, very light. Then also it's on the lighter end. Merlot, Cabernet, it's like a Pinot Noir, Merlot, Cabernet. It's going to kind of build up. You got your blushes and your rosés, which is going to kind of be like a fusion of your white and your red. But if you like a red wine, you like something that's a little bit sweet, from the way the woman described this one, I think that this one will be a good wine. 12.5% alcohol. It's amazing to always conduct yourself with a smile, especially if you are not well-rounded and versed in a lot of different wines and alcohols, because the people that are at Specs and at Total Wine have literally been trained to be able to talk to you about liquor. So sometimes you can get something that's direct from the manufacturer that will be just as good or better than the high dollar stuff. The direct liquors and wines that they have in Specs and Total Wine, they are better quality for a lower price, because unfortunately when you're buying like Ciroc and all that kind of stuff, and no shade to any of them, but please understand, if you open up your magazine and you can see them, or you see them on the billboard down the street, when you're going on a freeway and you see them up on a billboard, or you see them in magazines and on commercials, when you pay for that wine or that liquor, you are paying for all that advertisement. It doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It just means that it's more expensive because you got to pay for all them commercials and shit. So if you go to Specs and you're looking for something that's high quality, they got somebody on every single aisle to talk to you, and you could probably save some money and develop a relationship with whatever your preference is, a better quality for a cheaper price. So when I walked into Specs today, really, really admiring the woman who was behind the counter. She seemed to have like a West Indian, Caribbean, reminded me of my Auntie Angela, who was from St. Croix, I believe. Yeah, St. Croix. My uncle, rest in peace to my awesome Uncle Frank, his wife, who could cook her ass off, okay? I need to go over there and spend some time with her. I just haven't had time. But when when she cooked some food, it tasted like the same food I've been eating all my life, but just different. Just a beautiful Caribbean flair. Always had a hint of spice. And she don't drink rum no more, she told me at my uncle's funeral. But baby, when we was little kids, she was going to drink that. She about 4, 5, 4, 10. I don't know. She's short, petite, and has some little bitty feet, but going to have some badass shoes on every time you see her. And drinking rum, cooking good food, looking beautiful, and talking shit, okay? So every time I hear somebody who has that accent, it gives me the nostalgia of being around my Auntie Angela, who, even though she was not even related to me, this woman showed me so much love and kindness when I was a little girl. Never one even little bitty hint of bullshit. So I read in my Bible this morning that Jesus said the only place a prophet is without honor is in his own home, in his own city. So for the people that may be feeling a certain type of way about people that know you personally, or people that may live in your hood or be from your hood or from your high school or whatever. Even Jesus couldn't do nothing with them people who felt like they knew him. So don't feel bad. Just push forward and don't allow yourself to be so worked up emotionally. I know it hurt, especially if you've been good to somebody and they turn around and give you shit for your roses and you bought them roses with your last $5. But if you allow yourself to get stuck in that moment, you may miss those moments like I had with my Auntie Angela. She wasn't in the family. She was in the family, but we kind of like, when we moved to Baytown, we didn't have any relatives there. So outside of my dad's friends that he made working at the mill, and also my Uncle Frank, who lived in our neighborhood, and him and my dad went down there to work for U.S. Steel together. So that was the only family we had. That's how he became my Uncle Frank. That's how his kids became my cousins, because we were a family, and we were like one of the very few black families there at that time. Shout out to my dear friend Trudy from Trinidad. Also some awesome food at her house. My Auntie Angela, my bestie, my sister from another mister, Antoinette Preto. Okay, my Italian friend who, man, I could just talk all day about how awesome the times that we had. But also, as I reflect on the time that I spent in Baytown going to Horace Mann Junior High, where I was on the award-winning track team, okay? We were all up in the Baytown Sun newspaper. My particular group, Kim Landry and LaJuan Landry, big shouts out to them, two sisters who, Kim was I think she was, I don't know if you call her, I don't want to say it wrong and piss my daddy off if he see this, but whatever the person is, the last leg to bring that shit in, I don't give a damn how many people ahead of us. Kim Landry, wherever she is in the world, I don't know if she ended up going to the Olympics or what happened, because I ended up leaving Baytown when I went to high school, but Kim Landry was amazing. Her sister LaJuan was the first leg. We had another woman. I say woman because she looked grown, but she was our homegirl too. I just can't remember her name. But she was the second leg, and I was the third leg. And my dad, he used to get on me because my dad, who was a track star, so was my grandmother and a great deal of my cousins. I was happy when I was third leg because my grandmother was third leg. But according to my dad, my grandmother was a lot more better and athletic than me. My dad tried to put me in everything. He put me in, my sister, she was really good at, both of my sisters, good at athletics. I never really got with the athletic stuff, but I could bake a pie. I'm like that lady, what's her, Monica mama off of Love and Basketball? What she tell her? Yes, I'd rather bake a pie than shoot a jump shot. Okay. But anyway, shout out to the people that can. But I was third leg, and my dad would tell me, I'd be sitting up there, the team would be celebrating, and I'd be celebrating right along with him, and my dad be looking at me like, you ain't got no reason to be celebrating. My daddy used to be like, that second leg, she give you a big head start. By the time you make it around there, you putting up a ton in a hand as the same, you're working your quarter horse. That's what she was called, I think. I was like, Dad, I'm sorry. And then my dad would take me at night and jump the fence at Lee College and have me run until he got my time up. Because my dad was like, yeah, y'all got the blue ribbon, but your damn time was the worst time. It took you 15 seconds or however long it took me to run it. But anyway, I'm going to open this with y'all. Just because I'm going to do this for the sweet Caribbean lady. I don't know if she was from South Africa. I feel like that is kind of crass if nobody don't offer that information to you to ask. To each his own. But it says, I love the way that it starts because the description of this wine says, hey y'all. That sounds so Texas, but it's a South African wine. It says, hey y'all, this here bold ruby red Pinot Gris comes from exotic South Africa. I pray I get to go there one day. South Africa is one of the oldest wine growing areas in the world. Here, the ideal Mediterranean conditions create wines of unique character and complexity, just like Vito, the character, which with touches of Andrew, more complex. This wine is for enjoying every day. Its flavors of ripe plums, strawberries, spice mix well with your chili, barbecue, or Mexican food. If so, you can still enjoy this wine with your favorite cheesecake, fruit salad. Pour a generous glass and say cheers. If you want to sound more South African, say, my South African brothers and sisters, don't be mad at me. But it says if I want to sound more South African, I should say G-Zone D. Okay? So that's what we're going to say. And it's at Specs right now for $5. So, like I say, if you're like me, you would see something like this and you would think, okay, I don't have time to come back. I don't even want to spend $5 if it's going to be nasty. But the lady said, she saw me looking at it, and she said, you should get that one. She said, it is a very good wine. It's a South African wine. And she told me that it's best served chilled. And I did see that one time before, that the African people, even wines that I don't typically enjoy chilled, yes. Please have some. Okay, cheers or good day. Whatever. Anyway, I would see something like this. Oh, that's so good. I would see something like this and think, is this going to be $5 I spend? And it's, not good. But this wine is really good. So shout out to Specs. Shout out to the sweet lady that recommended this, that told me to buy this for $5. And I also learned from the man that was working at Specs, it said 12.5% alcohol, right? And so then I said, well, 12.5% alcohol is pretty good, especially for a sweet red wine, because I guess the difference in a South African wine and a wine that is from California is that the sweeter it is, that more the alcohol count will go down. In this one, it's 12.5% alcohol, which is on the high end for just those numbers, in my opinion. However, there was a man who was a sommelier, that's like a wine expert inside of Specs, and he told me something in all of my years of bartending I never heard, but I don't have no reason not to believe him because, living is learning. He said, when you see by volume, you are supposed to double it. So basically, it's like 25% alcohol versus the 12.5. So anyway, it's a nice wine. I'm glad that I have it. Also, there is the NFL draft. I couldn't figure out today if it was the NFL draft or if it was a mock draft that was going on. But it is 8:30. Thank you, God, for reminding me. It's my 8/3 is my birthday, along with the amazing gangsta Martha Stewart. Also, and that was, I took that picture at Applebee's. We're going to talk a little bit about that too in a minute. But I was watching today, my 33-pound boss. Okay, we were at lunch today. And she was like, I want to look at the TV. So we were looking at the TV. Sports Center was on TV. And they were talking about the draft. So I don't know if they kept mentioning a mock draft. But they kept talking about people going different places. And one thing that I did see that kind of caught my attention. And I want to see... Yeah, so this was true. I thought that I saw that. You know how you see flash across the screen and you're like, did I just see that? So I guess I did just see that. Shout out to Kyler Murray, okay, who plays for the Arizona Cardinals. He is also an amazing Leo, born on August the 7th. What I thought I saw flash across the screen was that he was about to be released. Okay. So sources say that the Cardinals tell Kyler Murray he will be released next week. That was today. Oh my gosh, today at 3:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So it says the Kyler Murray era with the Arizona Cardinals is officially coming to a close. Damn. After months of speculation about Murray's future with the team, Arizona informed the 2019 number one draft pick that it plans to release him next Wednesday when the new league year begins, bearing a trade. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Monday, Murray was already guaranteed 30 points. This is what I was seeing going across the bottom of the screen. Okay, Murray was already guaranteed 36.8 million for 2026 and would have been guaranteed another 19.5 million for 2027 if he was still on the roster March 16th, which is the 5th day of the 2026 league year. Murray preferred to be released, a source told ESPN. See, that's that Leo shit I'm talking about. It says Murray preferred to be released, a source told ESPN, with him probably hitting free agency next week. Murray has 2 teams he would like to join, the source said, though the names of the teams were not provided. It said, to everyone that supported me and showed me kindness to my family and I showed kindness to my family and I during my time in Arizona, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Murray wrote Monday in a post to X. I wanted nothing more than to be the one to end the 77-year drought for this organization. I'm sorry I failed us. I wish this community and my brothers nothing but the best. I am no stronger to adversity. I'm prepared for whatever is next. I trust in God and my work ethic. I truly believe my best ball is in front of me, and I look forward to proving it. Godspeed. We are wishing Kyler Murray all the best. And I do believe that wherever he goes, he will be successful. That is something that I relate to so well. The heart of a Leo, not just want to win for themselves, but they want to win for everybody, like all around them. Sometimes I will take the train downtown because if I drive, I'm going to be late because the traffic is so horrible. I remember a couple of years ago when I had a car that was repossessed because I just got tired of fighting the uphill battle. I remember that when I went outside and my car wasn't out there, that I felt like a big weight had been lifted off my back. And so I was living very close to the airport at the time. I immediately went over to the airport and went and got me another car. Just went and picked up me a rental and to go and get my things out of my car. And I'll never forget, I drove to this place to go get my things out of that car. And I pulled up and I looked through the gate. And I'll be damned if through that gate it didn't look like a damn brand new car lot. So when a guy came and he gave me, and I gave him the keys and he let me go and get the things out of my car, I said, can I ask you a question? I said, are all of these cars out here, are they repos or are y'all doing something else? He was like, no, ma'am. That's the reason why recovery is on our sign, because that's all we do is repos. I'm telling y'all, it was like half of a football field of very, very nice cars. So if you have been opposed, I know this is tax season. This has been a couple of years ago, but I know that a lot of times cars that have been repossessed, they will go ahead and send them like to an auction, I think, in an effort to try to recover some money for the loan. And they're supposed to apply that to what you owe. Who knows if that really happens? Just try not to get yourself in a position where you get a repo because you don't know. They can tell you that they didn't sell the car for that amount, but how do you know? So with all that being said, just try your very best to just shop around. Dallas is very, very huge. Lots of cars everywhere on a lot of lots. And now I know why it's so many cars on these like mom and pop lots all up and down Harry Hines. I think it's Harry Hines, Buckner, Garland Road, and there's a street in Midway Road. There are a lot of Midway Road in Carrollton. There are a lot of like, buy here, pay here. They work with high risk banks, a lot of people. So you can go and get a car, but just take your time and shop around to get a car that you know you'll be able to pay for, because you just don't want to deal with all of the stuff that comes with a repossession. It's just a lot of bullshit, that you won't have to deal with if you just take your time. You can find something that is nice, that is not got a lot of miles on it, that you can afford to pay for. Sometimes it's hard. You run up on something that you really like and you think, damn, if I don't get this, I won't be able to get nothing, or I won't ever have an opportunity to get something that's this nice. That's a lie. Just take your time and find something that you can afford to pay for. I kind of got gridlocked because after I had my car accident in my Mercedes, I ended up, so I didn't realize that after COVID, all of the car value, it went up because, it was a pretty bad dent in my hood of my Mercedes. It pushed the hood up and it damaged the front grille. But to me, the car was still drivable. I mean, I drove my car home. So with that being said, I felt like if it's a total loss, it's supposed to be something that's all twisted up. However, I learned that a total loss is determined on if they feel like that the amount that it takes to repair the car is going to cost more than the actual car, and the value of cars have gone up. So with that being said, it was a total loss. Okay, so the car was a total loss. My insurance company gave me a check because the money that they gave me honestly made it feel like I'd only paid like $3,000 to drive the car for 2 years. Like they damn near gave me the same amount that I paid for the car after driving the car for 2 years. So with that being said, the cars going up in value ended up working out well for me. However, I'm got my granny who is not physically here, but I can still hear her in my head. And I'm pretty sure that had she still been here, she would have made some adjustments, being aware of the things that are going on and how it's going on to tell me to do something different. But I heard my granny say, Mecca, don't just keep that money in the bank. Don't just keep it in your pocket. Take that money and go get you another car, because if you don't go right now, you're going to be stuck trying to go get you another car. You won't have a down payment. So listening to my granny's instruction in my head, I went out and got another car. The experience was so awesome. Shout out to Mr. Ronnie out at, it used to be, what did it used to be? Massey Cadillac. Now it's Lone Star Cadillac off of 30. And Mr. Ronnie was so awesome because I wanted me a new Cadillac. I had a Cadillac before. Unfortunately, my Cadillac was I was about to say, listen, this man T-boned me at the light and my heart was broken. But I kept on telling myself that was another car they paid me for. And then, I ended up getting a lot of money back for it. So I was able to go and get my Mercedes. But then after driving a Mercedes, I was like, I'm not really a German car girl. I'm from the South. I like a hog. I want a big Cadillac, or not even a big Cadillac, but just a nice Cadillac. In Texas, we like good looking American made cars. Shout out to Lincoln. While we talking about American made cars, who is a luxury Ford. And if I tell you, Lincoln been in a bag, okay? Because when I was car shopping, I rented a Lincoln, and I don't care what nobody say. That's what you call a silent, I don't know what you call, a hustler, because I don't watch a lot of TV, but I don't see them advertising Lincolns very much. But that Lincoln was nice. But anyway, I went to Cadillac, and Mr. Ronnie, shout out to him. He was so amazing to spend time with me throughout that day. And I got snacks, just trying to find a car that I liked, because I ended up test driving a brand new Cadillac CT5. Anyway, it was something that is like a spinoff from what I used to have, which was a CTS, but they started putting numbers on the new Cadillacs. Interestingly, trying to kind of mirror them after the BMW, which is what they told me at Cadillac. So anyway, I'm in this beautiful, I think CT5 or something. We take a test drive. I don't even have to adjust the seat. The seat, when I sit down in the seat just hugged me like we at the prom, okay? You remember the pictures that you used to take at the prom? That's how that C hugged me. And the man ain't talk no numbers. So we drive around the little neighborhood. They were doing quite a bit of construction out there. And then the man said, do you need to charge your phone? I was like, yeah. He was like, sit it down right there. You sit your phone on the little armrest. It start charging your phone. Apps, it's got everything from everything you can think of is on this damn app wall right in this car. So he was like, you like it? I was like, oh yeah, it's awesome. So he pulled it right in front of the door. We go inside. He was like, well, let me get a little bit of information from you, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we come back with. So it took him about 10 minutes to come back. I'm sitting there, I'm doing my little prayer I always do whenever I'm at the car lot. Lord, please. And I could just see the Lord and whoever my guardian angels are like, girl, bye. Because you probably, we not for sure what you finna do, but we hope you do the right thing. So I did start out doing the right thing, and thank God that I did, because they came, and the guy, Mr. Ronnie, he was so nice, y'all. If y'all need a car, Lone Star Cadillac, Mr. Ronnie, go see him, if you're interested in a Cadillac, because he's just a good person, an amazing family man, and just real to the core. I hope and pray he sell a lot of cars. But he came over there and he bought me a clipboard, and he said, all right, just initial right here and we'll get this deal done. So he had a number circled with red. I was like, what's that? He was like, that'll be your car payment every month. I said, I was like, people, I was like, okay, I know my credit is not the best. I'm grateful. I'm honored that they even want to give me this car. But, are people paying that for car payments? He was like, yes, ma'am, they are. I was like, so you mean to tell me people paying that in car payments? He was like, yeah. He said, well, what was you thinking about paying? I was like, well, when I had my Mercedes, I was like, I was paying $336. He said, ma'am, them car payments don't exist anymore. Just like the apartments, they used to be $335. He said they don't exist anymore. He said, but you do know you a Cadillac, right? I said, yes, sir. I just was taking a leap of faith. I said, but what I'm going to have to do is decline this offer, because I can't imagine. Now, this is very, very soon after I'd had my car wreck, so my insurance was still active that I had on my Mercedes. My policy was still active. And so since I had insurance, I wasn't going to have to worry about getting insurance that day. So that's another thing. If you get a car that is wrecked, or something like that, and your insurance is active and up to date, you can take that insurance with you when you go to get you another car, and you can save yourself 30 days, because they will give you 30 days without you even giving them any information about the car, and they will cover your new loan, your new lien, or your new purchase of a vehicle. So anyway, he had $903. $903. Now, my mind is flipping back and forth, because I'm like, could you, because, could you do this? Because I am not no type of person that's try to shit on nobody or no, but I had already seen myself pulling up. I don't know if I was going back to church or where I was going. I was pulling up in that brand new ass Cadillac. But I did not see myself paying $903 a month. God bless anybody who is out there paying that, because I don't know if I can't wrap my mind around it just yet. I understand that it goes on. He was like, ma'am, people pay more than that. People pay $1,600. I said, listen, God bless them. Shout out to them and whatever it is that they doing. I don't want to do that. I just feel like it's something out there that's better for me. So he was like, well, I'll tell you what, if you want to wait, we'll see what we can do, because we've already run your credit. And if you go somewhere else, it's going to show you got inquiries on there. We already got money on the table. You're just going to have to meet the criteria of the bank. So that was another thing that I learned in that day. So with certain banks, and shout out to GM. Shout out to General Motors. I don't give a damn what nobody say about General Motors. I will shout y'all out, GM Financial, forever, because all the shit I done been through in my life, repos, all kind of bullshit. I'm talking about credit cards I didn't pay off, loans I didn't pay off, and General Motors of GM Financial was gonna fuck with me. Man, shout out to them. Shout out for them, because they must be real, because they recognize real. Because I was sure going to try to get that money to them, but I just didn't see it happening. So, Mr. Ronnie found me something else. Not necessarily what I wanted to pay, but when somebody put $900 in front of you and you still ain't got no car, and you trying to get a car today, them coming in and out is like $450 cheaper than that. That looks pretty good now. Kind of like they did us with the gasoline. We was paying $1.50 forever. They raised the shit up to $4, and now we happy to see $2.90. But $2.90 is still high as hell for some damn gas, just in case you didn't know. Anyway, he found me something, and I was able to take my insurance with me, and didn't know what the insurance was going to be. Now, like I told y'all, I had 2 total losses. Plus, I acted fool and had a family member on my insurance for a little while, and they had a couple of fatalities. Even though it wasn't me that was in the midst of it, it still counts against you. So I know you might want to help somebody out, but think long and hard before you put somebody on your auto insurance, because anything that happens in your driver history is going to stick with you for the rest of your life. And so you'll be fighting against that forever. And like I said, I got enough shit of my own, so I'm not in a position to help anybody in that way anymore. But with that all being said, I got 2 total losses within the last 10 years. And then in addition to having 2 total losses on 2 high-end vehicles, I also had those little fender benders that my family member got when they were on my insurance. So with that being said, by the time I got my insurance back from this cute little Cadillac truck that Mr. Ronnie found me, that was absolutely cute. Not what I wanted, but it's not the worst thing. Like, I was still in a really nice car. It was when I went to call them to give them the information to get insurance that the issues reappeared in my life. And the issue was that now I'm considered a high risk as far as insurance is concerned. And so I called back to my same insurance company, where I was told that my insurance would be $640 a month to cover this car full coverage. So I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to go to Liberty Mutual anyway. So y'all can kiss my ass, because Liberty Mutual, they gonna cover it right off the bat. That's what the commercials say. You gonna go to Liberty Mutual, and hey, they got this new car guaranteed that if you have a wreck, they gonna replace it even if you upside down. Well, when I call Liberty Mutual, I know why they'll do that, because Liberty Mutual wanted $770 a month for full coverage. So I tucked my tail and ran back to my insurance company, hoping that same deal was available. Oh, I did shop State Farm, because one thing that I don't play around with, I've worked for a couple of personal injury lawyers. Shout out to them. I've worked, in some law firms before, and all them other people, I'm not dealing with them. I hope and pray to God I don't never have no real issue, but just putting it out there, I understand you might need to go ahead and get your tags, right? Because maybe you got a ticket, you got a court date, you need to have some tags before you go to court. You need to have some insurance before you go to court. That's the only reason you need to get that $35. Don't stay with that $35. Whatever, $50 or whatever it is, in that red and yellow sign. Don't do them, people. If it's a storefront and you can literally walk into the insurance company, and it's not a State Farm, because State Farm, I think they one of the last people that actually have an actual office that you can walk into. If it's not State Farm and you can walk through the door, it needs to be a little bit of fix, But like my Uncle Frank used to always tell me, now I'm gonna get you going. But when you get this money, you need to get this fixed the right way. He gonna get you going, and he gonna show you how to fix it yourself. But don't try to think that's gonna last forever, because when you go over there, he gonna be real mad. And he gonna probably fix on some stuff that probably ain't got to be fixed because you didn't listen. So with that being said, don't get in them bullshit, especially if you have a high-end car. Do not get the bullshit insurance, because then people not gonna answer the phone when it's time to pay. They're gonna take your money every month, but when it's time for you to file a claim, you're not going to be able to get in touch with them. And I know this from not a personal experience, but from a personal experience, because when it was time to get in touch with them, when it's time for them to pay, they were not answering, and those people's claims and their their injury and all the stuff where they was waiting on some money, all of that shit was on hold. They would tell you somebody's in our Miami office, they're not answering, we're going to send them a fax. You can send somebody all the way out there, a whole physical person, you still ain't going to find nobody. So just stay away from them. But like I said, I went back to my insurance company, and with that being said, I'm back at paying over $1,000 a month with insurance and car payment combined. And Mr. Ronnie called me after a year, and he said, Miss Campbell, I know that you weren't too crazy about that car that we got you in, but now it's been a year, would you like to look at something else? And my car had been repoed like the week before. And I said, Mr. Ronnie, I said, my car was repoed last week. He said, why didn't you call me before it was repoed? He said, anytime like that, always call your salesman back. So if you have a good salesman, you want to build a relationship. A lot of times people go and they go back to the same lot. I know, like my grandmother and them, they would go back to the same lot all the time and deal with the same people. Some of those same people are still at Sewell Village Cadillac right now. Shout out to Eric McHenry and a lot of awesome people. I don't know, I think they said Eric McHenry moved to Sewell Lexus, but he's been there, like went to school with my auntie and had been there forever. Shout out to him. But Mr. Ronnie told me I should have called him. I should have called him before that happened. But I just was grateful, because I had spent like the last 4 months after I just threw my hands up with that car, walking outside, wondering if it was going to be gone, going to the grocery store, wondering if the car was going to be gone, and also not even realizing that it had been a year. And that's just not no way to live. Don't ever allow yourself to have anything that's going to cause you to be too stressed out to enjoy it. So with that being said, y'all, time flies when you're having fun. I'm so grateful for the time this evening. Shout out to Lil Tunchi. At Lil Tunchi, baby, I am a walking billboard. Shout out to my awesome sister-in-law, Dawn. She's the one who did this design on this shirt for me when I went to some concert. I don't know. Shout out to Lil Wayne, like I said, who was in the streets at the golf tournament, and also went to a golf tournament and a gospel concert. I think that was absolutely beautiful. My heart was overwhelmed. That's all I could respond, was beautiful, because that was just exactly how it felt. And as I get ready to go out the door, I guess, what do I have? 5 minutes. And I think it's probably best, because I don't need to linger this on for a long time. The shout out to For the Locals with Lucas McCain, and I think he be saying Buck Deasy. Okay, shout out to them and their show on this past week. I haven't heard from Lucas McCain since I was on his show, and I honestly think that there was a serious misunderstanding that happened. As I listened to the show, it kind of sounded like he was speaking about me, and then it kind of sounded like he was speaking about somebody else, because there were some things that I really didn't fit in. But I just want to say, like I said, last Sunday, when I came to be a guest on the show, I enjoyed it, and I really appreciated the opportunity to sit down with them and them sharing their time. Anybody who does something like what we're doing, that's literally their time, their money, their vision. So I always want to make sure that I hopefully add to that. And I had a good time. But afterwards, we were supposed to go and have a drink afterwards. And, I was thinking that we were going to go have a drink somewhere close. And he said even though he had invited me for the drink, he said that he had to be at work early the next morning. So I live far, 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 like, Addison, Texas, damn near to Plano, off the toll road, some very far and inconvenient shit to ever I have lived since I've been living in Dallas, as far as it being adjacent to everywhere else. But as a friend and being considerate, I did say I would go over south to go and have a drink. And so we chose to go to Applebee's, and he was going to take his friend home, and I went to Applebee's to wait for him. And when I spoke to him on the phone about where I was going and where I was, I literally said, he said, "Are you going to 30 in Cockrell Hill?" And I said, "I absolutely know for a fact I'm not going to 30 in Cockrell Hill. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but when I get there, I'm going to send you the pin. I'm going to send you the address," because I knew I was going to get there before him, because he had to go further, like past the place and then come back to the place. So I basically was like there. I sent him the address. He sent me a thumbs up. I said, I don't know exactly where I'm going. All I know is times past when I lived on the south side, whenever I would go to this Applebee's, if I was at 35 in Illinois and I was at Wynwood, you go past Wynwood like you going to Mountain View College. So you going out west, like by Spur 408 and Loop 12 and all of that stuff. So I basically just went to that Applebee's and sat there and waited all that far away from my house for about an hour. He sent me the thumbs up when I sent him the address, and whenever he got there, he was upset because he went to another location. And when me and the woman who was there at the bar with me asked him why he didn't just press the address that I had sent him, he said he didn't need to, even though he was mad that he went to the wrong place. So I apologized to him. He said he didn't remember me apologizing, and so I apologized again. I was like, hey, I apologize that you went to the wrong place, but the best thing that I could do, if a person is meeting you somewhere and you don't really know where you are, and so you say, listen, I don't know where I'm at, but let me send you the direct location, and the person chooses not to look at it, I don't know what else you can do. But again, in front of God and anybody who might see this, hear me, Lucas, I apologize. I did not mean to upset you. I am not any type of person who is not willing to admit if I've done something wrong, but I did everything that I could to make it convenient for you, for a drink you asked me to go have with you. I waited for you afterwards, and then I drove my car to go and meet you. Evidently you were so upset about that. I haven't heard from you. I don't have nothing against you. I still wish you the best. I still watch your show, the very first person to log on and also like it. So I do still wish you all the best. I hope you don't harbor any negativity or ill will towards me, but I don't talk in circles. If it's something that I feel like needs to be addressed, I'm going to address it. Okay. In the United States of America, don't nothing fly if it ain't got a stamp on it. So shout out to him. Much, much love to him and to everybody. I apologize for the confusion or any confusion that I've ever had with anybody, but if anybody has ever hung out with me, they know that I am overly accommodating, willing to pay the bill, whatever. I am just glad to have a good time. And like I said, that was merely all it was, nothing more and nothing less. Okay, so shout out to everybody, like I said, all over the world. I'm gonna finish this wine as I get ready to get up out of here. Lord willing, I will see you all next week. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Mecca's Take. On my Facebook, I'm Mecca Campbell. I need to change that. I think, but who cares? That's my first and my last name on Facebook, and I need to connect it like for people because it needs to be more brandy. Because family members, what time is it? I need to go. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock on the dot. Yeah, we started a couple of minutes late, so we got 1 minute. Look, family members, I appreciate you so much. For the people that show love and show support, I appreciate you. If you looking and lurking and calling someone else to comment on what you see, my number done been the same for damn near 25 years. If it's something that you feel like you need to say, then you can say that. But instead of all of that whack ass gossiping and thinking that somebody might be talking to you or somebody might be doing something that you feel like you need to critique, my phone and my ears are always open. I saw 2 likes And neither one of those people that liked it, I was related to. So if you're my family member and you looked at it and you didn't like it, you can kiss my ass. You know why? Because if you know me in real life, you know I'm the same person in real life. So if you're not supporting me and you see me out here doing something that you know I've always talked about, I've always dreamed about, ever since Lil Wayne done been Wheezy baby, okay? Y'all know I done been a fan. So if you mad at it, you need to just be mad at yourself, because bitch, I'm not stopping you from liking what you love or supporting it or however it is that you want to do. You can do whatever the hell it is you want to do, but anybody who knows me knows that I'm the same Mecca, on the camera, on the mic, in your face, on the phone, on the text, and at church. Have lovingly given a eulogy for everybody, and y'all need to start getting y'all ass up too, because I know I'm not the only person in the family that's been helped and then been touched by these people. You got so much goddamn shit to put on Facebook, but somebody who done helped your ass is laying in state with flowers on top of them on their way to the ground, and you can't get your ass up and speak to people in real life. You need to think about that. All right, think about it. I love you. Good night. Hey, Ebony, I love y'all so much. Thank you. We see you. I love you too, girl. Thank you so much. I got mad at her too, but I love you. You know I love you. I love her. I love her. I really... I love everybody. Like Lil Wayne said, I love everybody. That's the problem. I love everybody. They was trying to get Lil Wayne to say who he had in his life when he was on some interview. It was an interview that Lil Wayne was on, and this one guy jumped out there and asked a question I don't hear nobody ask. He was like, if it's somebody special in your life, and Lil Wayne was like, not really, I don't really. And so he was like, well, look, is there anybody that's just extra special? Wayne said, see, that's the problem. I love everybody, okay? And everybody think they supposed to be number one. So shout out to Lil Wayne. That's why he is the greatest rapper ever, okay? Because not only is he the best on the mic, on the stage, but he also protect all of our hearts, because you can just insert yourself, you know what I'm saying, in Lil Wayne's song. He ain't gonna hurt your feelings. Hey, shout out to him for just loving us. He taught us all how to love, okay? Play How to Love tonight before you go to bed. Good night.